Hey, have you ever heard of Surf 2? Well, yeah, there's no Surf 1 or Surf 3. It's just one of those weird 80s things. Surf 2 is this totally bonkers comedy from 1984 that's basically a big joke on those old-school beach party movies. But with a twist. You get surf culture, mad scientist shenanigans, horror, and a ton of punk rock weirdness thrown in. The movie was written and directed by Randall Badat. And get this, he called it the end of the trilogy. Seriously, there is no trilogy. It's about 90 minutes of pure chaos, full of wild jokes, gnarly beach vibes, punked out zombies, and a killer soundtrack featuring everything from surf rock classics to new wave and punk. Back in the day, critics absolutely trashed it, but now it's got a real cult following, especially with fans of crazy 80s B-movies like Joysticks or Revenge of the Nerds. So what's it about? Basically, it's set in this sunny throwback version of California, where a nerdy dude named Menlo, Eddie Deezen, is tired of getting picked on by surfers. So, what does he do? Obviously, he cooks up a mind control chemical in his underwater lab and puts it in a soda called Buzzz Cola. Not kidding, the cola turns the cool surfers into gross, garbage-chomping zombie punks. We're talking neon mohawks and a major hate for anything clean. Meanwhile, you've got these surfer bros, Chuck, Eric Stoltz, and Bob, Jeffrey Rogers, who start noticing all their friends going full-on zombie and missing out on the beach party life. With their parents and the cops totally clueless, shout out to Chief Boyardee and the legendary Inspector Underwear, they team up with their weird science teacher, Dr. Beaker, to try to save the day. There's gross-out humour, exploding toilets, zombies eating fish guts. It's just insane. The cast? Pure 80s gold. Eddie Deezen totally hams it up as Menlo, and there's Eric Stoltz, plus a bunch of familiar faces. Lyle Waggoner, Ron Palillo, Marilyn Monroe, lookalike Linda Kerridge, and if you look close you'll even spot Terry Kaiser, yes, Weekend at Bernie's, Cleveland Little, and comedy legend Ruth Buzzy. Fun fact, they actually tried to get Frankie Avalon and Annette Funicello to appear, but they said nope. Now, how did Surf 2 even happen? The director, Randall Badat, was laid up after a surf accident, pumped full of painkillers, and got inspired by Venice Beach's wild punk scene and some local gross water stories. He wrote the script in just 2 days and wanted it to be a dark, wacky twist on classic monster comedies. His agent said it was the worst piece of shit ever, so Badat did it himself. Producers finally helped get it distributed, and the title Surf 2 was just a dumb joke to make it sound like a sequel. They filmed it all over SoCal beaches in the summer of '83, and they even tried to make it 3D. Yep, that plan got axed. The movie had a lot of improv from the cast, and legendary surf guitarist Dick Dale even shot a scene that got cut. When the studio got their hands on it, they forced in more nudity and raunchy jokes to cash in on the whole Porky's craze. In 2021, the studio finally released a director's cut that put back a lot of the original footage. Reception? Well, it flopped hard at first. Some critics thought the title was the best joke. Reviews called it total trash and hoped there'd never be a Surf 3. Don't worry, there wasn't. But over time, it got a following for being just so out there and ridiculous. Joe Bob Briggs gave it 3.5 out of 4 stars just for being so off the wall. Fans say it's perfect if you like crazy movies like Surf Nazis Must Die, or just want to hear a ridiculous 80s soundtrack. There's loads of wild trivia too. There's no real trilogy, obviously. The soundtrack is packed with the Beach Boys, Yingo Boingo, an unreleased song written by Danny Elfman, Thomas Dolby, Circle Jerks, and more. At the LA premiere, the underage crowd literally tore the doors off the theatre. That's some punk rock energy. The Spanish title? Locura de Playa, which literally means beach madness. The movie references addiction and pollution, but let's be real, it's mostly just super goofy fun. Surf 2's never been super mainstream, but it's got a die-hard fan base. For a long time, you could only get it on VHS, but now you can grab a fancy 2-disc Blu-ray release with extra scenes, interviews, and all that good stuff. Want to check it out? You can snag Surf 2 using our Amazon link and help support movies of the 80s while you're at it. And hey, don't forget to subscribe to Movies of the 80s for more over-the-top 80s movie nostalgia. Because sometimes the worst movies are actually the most fun. Want to know more about the unique release journey of Surf 2? Subscribe to Movies of the 80s on Substack. Link in the description.